Flexibility with place value is important because it helps us really understand the value of a number by showing how we can regroup our numbers in our hundreds, tens, and our ones. So here I have an expanded form of 400 plus 170 plus 2. I notice that the value of what would be my tens is greater than 100, which makes me kind of confused because I am seeing a lot of numbers here. So I'm going to sketch this out, and so that way I can see if I need to regroup any of my tens to become hundreds to figure out what this number really is in base 10. So I'm going to start by sketching out my hundreds, remembering to keep them in the imaginary 10 frame. And then this would be the value of my tens. And so I have 170. So I'm going to count that by 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. I also know that 170 is the same as 17 tens. And so I have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. And then I have 2 ones. So as I'm looking at this, I see 400s, 17 tens, and 2 ones. My tens have more than just 10. There is 17 of them. And for every 10 tens, that equals 1 100. So I'm going to circle my 10 tens and draw 100 over here. That represents those 10 tens. So now I have 5 hundreds, 7 tens, and 2 ones. So I'm going to write those values down here at the bottom. 500s has a value of 500. And I know that by counting by 100, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. My 7 tens has a value of 70. And I know that by counting by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And then my 2 ones has a value of 2. So this would be another example of how to write the same number in expanded form. And to write that as a base 10 numeral, I would have 572. Let's look at another example. Here I have 326. If I were to write this in expanded form using just standard values for the 300, the 2 tens, and the 6 ones, I would probably write it 300 plus 20 plus 6. But if I decided to regroup one of these tens to become 10 ones, because 10 ones is the same as 110, I could write my expanded form as 300 plus 10 plus 16. And so if I did that, I would have 300s and then 110 and 16 ones. Again, I'm drawing my ones with that imaginary 10 frame. So I have rows of 5. So now I can see I have more than 10 ones. So I'm going to go ahead and circle those 10 and regroup that to become 1 additional 10. So now I have 300s, 2 tens, and 6 ones, which represents this first expanded form that I did. To double check my work, I could count what I have here. So I have 100, 200, 300, 310, 320, 321, 322, 323, 324, 325, 326. And so that would represent my base 10 numeral here. Here is another example for you to try on your own. Go ahead and sketch this out and then circle up anything that has more than 10 in a place value spot and regroup that accordingly. Remember, it takes 10 tens to make 1 100 and 10 ones to make 1 10. So you have 500 plus 110 plus 26. When you're ready, unpause the video and check your work. So when I sketched this expanded form first, I used the red marker. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths. I had 11 tens that had a value of 110. Here's my group of 10 and one more. And then I had 26 ones, 10, 20, 25, 26. I noticed that I had 11 ones, which is more than 10. So I circled 10 of those tens and regrouped that to become 100. So now I have a value of 600 with my hundreds. Then I noticed I had 2 groups of 10 in my ones. So each one of those became an additional 10, which gave me 3 tens altogether, which has a value of 30. And then 6 ones has a value of 6. So when I added this together, my base 10 numeral is 636. And 600 plus 30 plus 6 is just another example of how to do an expanded form that has the same value as my flexible expanded form at the top.